Hello Noble people, my name is Noble, and in this video I'm going to be doing an honest review of Pokemon Legends ZA. None of the really harsh, really oversaturated reviews or nothing extremely positive. I'm going to try and keep everything very factual and just like blanket. There's so many people who just want to dunk on this game. A major part of them are the people who are like anti-Nintendo. A lot of those channels who just hate anything Nintendo. Even though I agree Nintendo's a bad company, they just hate it. Obviously, you got your Versifies. I've seen so many AI like idiots trying to trash in this game, but I don't know how anyone takes that seriously. There was one guy who was like saying all the right criticisms about the graphics, but the graphics he was complaining about was like the cutting in and out on his own screen because he was playing on an emulator. Who like you're stupid because you didn't program your emulator correctly. Like if you're gonna emulate the game and try and trash on it, maybe you should get your facts right. I just so stupid to me. I'm going to try and be actually honest. I'm not going to try and be a Debbie Downer. I'm not going to try and be extremely positive saying this is the best game we've gotten in forever, because I don't really know about that. But I do want to kind of come in with a little bit of a prerequisite. I have not fully done everything with the side story. I want to make that clear. However, I have completed the Pokédex. I have completed the main story. I've gotten the legendaries. I'm currently trying to get the Shiny Charm. Getting the Shiny Charm is extremely hard in this game. Instead of just completing the Pokédex like usual, you actually have to like do a bunch of these quests. Apparently I have to like do like almost over like 1,000 something battles in like the Royale thing at the end, which is insane to me, but I'll talk about that more towards the end of the video. But first off, let's just start off with the main story game and the main gameplay loop of this game, and I'll give my thoughts on that. Okay, the main plot of the game is obviously we're new in Lumiose City and we go to Hotel Z, join Team MZ, whose goal is to try and make Lumiose a better place and whatnot. With AZ, we have really cool characters, Urbane, Tawny, depending on which character you choose. Naveen, I really like Naveen, he's really funny, or like just like an introvert character. I think that's cool. Lydia's cool. I like all that. Like Emma's obviously really cool. Like seeing Lysander again, or Elle, is so cool. I love all the stuff that we have in this game in terms of story. The entire aspect of the story, trying to find the strongest Mega Evolution user, is really simple, but it actually proves to be really fun in the final climactic battle, and I think that's really cool. Now, the story plots mixed in with the actual gameplay revolves around us obviously having the free time battles, actually being able to move our Pokemon around instead of having the normal turn-based. I found this to be really fun. It can be clanky at times and not really work fully well. Now, there's always going to be kind of jank when stuff can happen together. This is not necessarily like a diss at like the game itself, just how this interaction would happen. I think this happens like POW World and stuff like that, so I understand how that can be janky. There are some like targeting issues. I think it's kind of dumb when my Pokemon falls off the roof. I have to jump off with it or have to like recall it. That sometimes it can be janky with that, but a lot of people are blowing the real-time battles being bad out of proportion. I think they're relatively fun, and I really actually like this combat system. The Rogue Mega Evolutions are definitely my favorite highlight. All of the battles we have, the Rogue Mega Evolutions, are super cool. They like actually take into the personality and design aspects of all of the Pokemon. My standout favorites definitely being the one at the end with Zygarde. I think that one's so cool, especially because Zygarde is my favorite legendary Pokemon. The Beedrill one's super cool with how it moves. The Bayonet one's super cool with it making like shadow clones. I had a lot of fun with that. And it also fits into the story aspect with us trying to subdue these Rogue Mega Evolution Pokemon to try and figure out what is going on, get their Mega Stones, and calm them down, and try and make peace with try and make Lumiose a better city. And I think that's really nice. Then we get to the one aspect of the game that I think is really undercooked and also overcooked at the same time, and I think this design decision is actually really, really stupid. The main actual story stuff, besides obviously the Rogue Megas is actually trying to do the ZA Royale. You start at rank Z and you do these challenges at nighttime to get promotional cards, to do promotion matches, to rank up to the next letter. So you're supposed to go from Z to the letter A. And that was a huge tagline of the game, and I thought this was going to be a really cool thing. At the start, I actually really liked it. I thought this was going to be really fun. It felt like almost every night we could have it, but it also felt like, oh, maybe some nights the promotion matches take a little bit, so maybe you'd have to grind a little bit to be able to get it. I thought it would be fun. I know some people were trying to say, oh, it's going to get repetitive, and I would agree it would get repetitive, especially because what they do. They make it so that when you're rank W, I think, instead of like trying to go to the next letter in the alphabet, you fight with a character named Vinny, who's part of the Quasartico, who's like doing stuff with the Rogue Mega Pokemon. He just is like, oh yeah, if you beat me in your promotion match, I'll rank you up to rank F. Like, really? You skip like a majority of the alphabet, and that's it. That's super stupid. I'm sorry. I think the entire tagline of ranking up is so cool, and then they just decide, you know what, yeah, we're gonna skip that and go to rank F. That is underwhelming. And then that is what I think is the undercooked. They just took their cool concept of ranking up and then undermined it. Then the overcooked aspect is the fact, right now I'm trying to get the Shiny Charm, trying to complete the research, get to level 50 of the Professor Mabel's research. I have to do like 1,000 something battles to do that. So they decided, you know what, maybe we'll skip out of those battles in the late game or early game. So in the late game, you do it even more. I feel like it's unoptimized and is just kind of padding for you to do something later. Like, usually if you complete the Pokédex, you should get the Shiny Charm and stuff. And I'm fine with doing some quests of trying to catch a certain number of type of Pokemon. But, like, when it tells you, oh, you gotta catch 50 Steel types, I'm sorry, but Steel types are really hard to catch in this game. How am I supposed to catch, like, 50 or 100 of them, like, relatively quickly? People are estimating that the post-game to actually get the shiny is going to be like 100 something hours, and I think that's really overtuned and not really designed fully, and I don't really like that aspect. But as in part of the main game and part of the main story, I guess I'll have to deal with it. Like, obviously I'm still going to try and get the Shiny Charm, I'm not going to try and stop, but that is a heavy criticism that I will put on this game. Now, let's talk about the big nail in the coffin that a lot of people are talking about, the actual graphics and how the gameplay actually is within Lumio City. I'm going to try and do this as short and sweet as I can, because I've re-recorded this part a lot because I start rambling about this. I'm sure you all know, this game looks like a PS2 game. But also at the same time, some of the models for the Pokemon and characters look amazing. The character customization you have and the design and aesthetic of the characters actually look really cool. And the Pokemon textures feel like the best they've been in a 3D aspect. Scarlet Violet tried to do some realism with some stuff, and I don't like how they look, especially with how low-end Scarlet Violet looks. But I really love the new cartoony, anime-inspired aspect of the Pokemon and characters that we have in ZA. Everything else is like a PS2 game and like a bad PS2 game. And that is like it. I don't really, you know how bad, you can literally look at the windows on the screen right now. That balcony is flush to the wall. That is the same texture pasted multiple times over. Even to the point when you actually get to Hotel Z, they're in your room. You actually have a bathroom door. You can't go in. That bathroom door is the same door texture as your front door pasted over. So it makes it look like AZ put in a peephole in your bathroom door. Like, that's so lazy. And for this supposedly being the most expensive Pokemon game, apparently 2 billion yen. I'm not 100% sure what that converts to US dollars. I think it's like 13, maybe 14 million. I'm not 100% sure. Don't fact check me on that. but I will strongly say that the graphics aren't there, Chief. So, with all of that said, how would I rate this game? We have really good story. I think the story is pretty nice, especially the ending. I think the ending is actually really sad and really nice. I think it's really beautiful, actually. I really like it. We have new mega forms. We have really cool raid boss battles. Then we have a little bit of a clunky gameplay that you can kind of look around at the same time also kind of get into. You have the kind of frustrating royale mechanic. Then you obviously have the graphics. So what would I overall rate this game? And this is where I feel like a lot of the reviews struggle with. I don't think you can genuinely rate this fairly without doing 2-point values. So here is what I will say. As an objective standby and looking at this game on an objective lens of this being a $60 game or $70 game if you got the Switch 2 version, this is a 6 out of 10 game. This is not worth $60. I think a lot of the stuff that you have to do afterward is more tedious than being fun. I think completing the Pokédex was actually fun, but the stuff for the Shiny Charm is really tedious. I'm not looking forward to it. I'll still do it because I want Shock to Shiny Hunt in this game because I think it's going to be fun. Or at least the Shiny Hunting aspect will be. I think that just it doesn't make worth. Like, maybe if this was a $40 game, $30, I could see you getting this. However, I feel like it is a little unfair to do that and not also equate in how this compares to other Pokemon games. And I will say that I actually think that this is probably one of the best modern Pokemon games we have seen. I think Arceus still probably takes the cake with that. I think a lot of people love Legends Arceus. I think the real-time battle gimmick is much better than the Agile and Strong style. I really hated the Agile and Strong style when I played through the parts that I did play on Arceus. So I am actually really happy with those aspects. But that being said, if you are currently watching this review to see if you should get this game, if you are a long-time Pokemon fan or even a new Pokemon fan who's played a couple of the games and are fine with it looking graphically less, I'm still not fine looking at graphically less, but I'm mainly looking at the aspect of the new Megas and the gameplay, not necessarily graphically. I can be fine with the graphics looking bad. I've played games all the time that necessarily don't look insanely graphically high quality with ray tracing or whatever, everything. And I'm not thinking Pokemon's going to be like that, but you get what I'm trying to say here. I genuinely think there are two reviews. 6 out of 10 for an objective review of a game being compared to other games of this price tag. Hollow Knight Silksong is an indie developed game that is blowing this out of the water, and it's only $20-something. No way Pokemon could beat this. If you're comparing it to other Pokemon games, I think that the bar has been set so low that this is genuinely a better game. Now, take what you will with a grain of salt. I still had fun with this game even despite its flaws. I know some people are going to get mad at me saying it's only 6 out of 10. I know some people are going to be mad at me saying it's an 8.5 compared to the other Pokemon games. But I don't really know how else to rate this game objectively without doing those two reviews. So, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for me actually reviewing and ranking all the other Mega Pokemon, because I actually do have some stuff to talk about. Some of them I really love, and some of them are so we'll talk about that later. But thank you so much for watching. Stay noble. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!